There it is. We in the red. Yeah. It's Capital City Podcast. I'm your host, Capital J, alongside my main man,
DL Glass.
And today, we're talking about sacrifice. And for all you people that have been following YouTube, I'm not talking about such and such sacrifice his daddy for success or his mama for success or their little brother or little sister. I'm talking about the sacrifice that it takes to make it in the entertainment industry.
Okay.
Now, we always start from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the kind of subject where to understand where we're coming from, I'm going to talk about the full scope of entertainment. Because this isn't something that just pertains to hip hop.
Right.
This is R&B. This is actors.
Mm-hmm.
This is athletes.
Yep.
Anybody that wants to rise to the top of their field, there's going to be some sacrifices that have to be made. And I don't think a lot of people understand. If you've been listening to our podcast and you've heard our guests speak, the majority of them who got anywhere went through a period in their life where they just had to put their craft ahead of everything else.
A level of selfishness.
If you want to call it selfishness, you have to live for your craft for some period of time if you expect to make it. Now, before we even get to hip hop, let's just talk about if you want to be a great basketball player. You're not going to be great if you don't wake up, eat, sleep, and basketball. You want to play football. You're not going to be great unless football is your life from the time you wake up until the time you go to sleep. And people who rise to the top always have that in their story. We were talking about, so now we'll get over to the hip hop. Let's rewind and go back to the Fanatic episode.
Okay.
What he did to make it. And it wasn't overnight success.
By no means.
What he did to make it, though, was sacrifice I'm doing air quotes here, a normal career. Mm-hmm. What kind of jobs did he say he had? He kept a pie job.
Absolutely.
Something he could leave at the drop of a dime should opportunity knock. Mm-hmm. Who that? Right. Opportunity.
Dana Carvey.
You
right.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this episode is going to be about teaching you what sacrifice means and what you're going to have to do if you expect greatness. So let's start off with most people start figuring out if you want to be a great athlete, entertainer, actor, musician, rapper, singer, whatever. Mm-hmm. Most people start taking it seriously in their teens. What does that entail? Well, teenagers go to school, right?
Yes.
What do you do when you get out of school?
Go play
basketball. Do you hang out with your friends? Do you play the video game? Do you work on your craft? If you work on your craft, then what you're sacrificing is those times with your friends who are not into what you're into.
Absolutely. It's all about surrounding yourself with the totality of it, surrounding yourself with people with either similar interests or the people who are going to help you. And in your teen years, your parents play a large part of that because they sacrifice a lot for you too.
Yeah, they're going to sacrifice too. I'm glad you brought that up because we definitely have to get to what do your parents and the people who love you have to sacrifice to keep you involved.
Right.
So remind me to make sure that we hit that up pretty well. So the first thing you have to understand is that friends who are not headed in the direction that you're going will be your first sacrifice. And you can still be friends, but those being the people that you spend the majority of your time with will not help you get to the place you're trying to get to.
Right.
Because when you're thinking about making that rap better, making that beat better,
right,
tightening up, They don't understand why you need to spend so much time honing your craft. And you're going to have to make a decision. Do I spend time with these people who are not headed where I'm headed? Or do I hone my craft? So, sacrifice number one, you're going to lose some friends. You'll gain some new ones along the way. Over time, I've met a few people over time that were headed the same direction I was going or were into the same things I was into. And, the funny thing about those people is some of them end up being friends for life, and then some of those people are friends for a portion of your life. A season. But the first sacrifice that will have to be made will be the people who are not headed in the direction that you're headed, because they will always try to sidetrack you and keep you from doing the things that advance your career or be better at what you're doing. If you're a great saxophone player, your friends that want to play video games or go to parties, they don't understand you sitting around playing the horn.
Right.
So if you want to be the best saxophone player, you're not going to hang around people that play video games all day. You can't. If you do, you'll never be great. Right. Later on, you move into, let's say, college age.
Right.
Eventually, there'll be a decision that will have to be made in most cases.
Yes.
Because this is the time where the pieces start falling into place.
Absolutely.
You've already spent your time honing your craft, and now it's time for the rubber to hit the road.
Mm-hmm. And I know this might be a little bit off, but they always give athletes flack for going with that white girl but that white girl, she's going to be in the gym when you shooting those free throws.
Oh, yeah. It's just in a lot of cases, those people who, I think those women, and even if it's not a white girl, those women who sit there and watch you do it, are making an investment. And they, too, are sacrificing. When you invest that time in a person and their dream, when it all works out, what should happen in a perfect world is you should be rewarded. Now, it doesn't always work out like that.
Absolutely not.
So I'm not saying that it's the smartest investment in the world, because we've seen thousands of people ride with one chick and then they make it, and they
show their true colors.
Right. It's like, well, thanks for your time.
Yeah. Right.
I'm off to this. But that too is a sacrifice. The sacrifice is on both ends. But when you're in your college years, you could actually end up sacrificing your chance to make money, because rather than a part-time job, you're going to spend your time honing your craft. Sacrifice number 2, money. Not the money you spend on studio time, etc. The money you could be making with the time you put into your craft. I can honestly say, I got to school 1990. From 1990 to 1996, before I ended up on the radio, all I did with my free time was DJ and make beats. That's it.
Right. A few years ago, everybody was talking about 10,000 hours. If you dedicate 10,000 hours to whatever it is.
I have spent my 10,000 hours.
Right. 10,000 hours, it don't sound like just saying 10,000 hours like, well, that's not a lot. But it is a lot, because if you think about jobs, if you do 10,000 hours on a job, that's 250 weeks.
Right.
That's almost 5 years.
Right. And you know what else you'll sacrifice during that time?
Yeah.
Relationships.
Absolutely.
So you've already sacrificed the money. So now the only reason you'll have for anybody to spend time with you, you're not making a grip. You're working on your craft. And anybody who's on the grind right now knows I'm telling the truth when I tell you that there are not a lot of women who want to spend time with you when you're on the grind.
Because you don't got it.
You don't have it. Right.
Right. For real.
But you can pick up strays here or there.
Yeah.
But real relationships are hard to come by when you have a first love and it's your pursuit of greatness. So you sacrifice some friends, you sacrifice money, you sacrifice relationships. And now you're at a point, what usually happens is if people don't see results during this window between 18 and 23, 24, they make a decision that I'm tired of sacrificing. Now it's time to either build a relationship, make some money, or find a new group of friends. One of those things will happen. Some people keep right on going, but there are more sacrifices to be made because once you pass that era, now you see people building families. Are you going to sacrifice your opportunity to build a family at that moment? I did. I waited till I was 33 to get married. There were plenty of chicks that probably wanted to start a family with me way earlier than that, but that was going to take away from the time that I could put into my craft. So I sacrificed that. And these are the steps that it's going to take for you to be great at something. And when I say family, the people who do start a family sacrifice things as well. Because some people can start a family, get married, start a family, and still pursue greatness.
Right.
But then they sacrifice their wife's happiness and their children's time with them.
Right.
So every step of the way, there's some kind of sacrifice to be made in the pursuit of greatness. And for most people, they can only maintain this for so long. Even the great ones. Like, you don't think that Jay-Z would still be rapping or still, like, and that he came to a point
right
where he said, I have sacrificed all these other things.
Right.
I have spent the time. I sacrificed my time, my money. There was a time when he was coming up and on the grind. He wasn't working at
nowhere.
He wasn't working anywhere. He was working on his craft. And there were plenty of women who probably wanted to marry him and cuff him up.
He talks about it in his music.
Right.
He even say about Beyonce sacrifice, and he was like, but how can I stand in the way of her greatness?
Right.
And that's why Beyonce started having kids later.
You're right. You have to wait.
Yeah, after she peaked.
Right.
And not to say she's on a down spiral or anything, but I wouldn't know that if he didn't talk about it in the music.
Right. And it's not like every person has to do this, because there's the occasional unicorn that can maintain and juggle all these things and still be successful.
Yeah.
I.e. LeBron James.
I think he's one of the greatest examples of it.
Yeah, but
he still had that counterpart, his wife, and
she had to be willing to make some sacrifices. You don't think that when he's out playing the Phoenix Suns that she would rather be watching Netflix with LeBron James?
Right.
Tom Brady sacrificed his marriage.
Yes.
For one more year in the NFL. Sacrifices.
But who you think made a greater sacrifice? Tom Brady or LeBron?
LeBron, I think LeBron's, I can't even, like, LeBron's done this so seamlessly.
That's what I'm saying.
And made it look so easy that it doesn't appear that he sacrificed anything. Because another thing you sacrifice, when I say you sacrifice that time with your kids, like, let's compare Michael Jordan to LeBron James for a second. Michael Jordan he was all about basketball.
Basketball, you're right.
And he has kids. LeBron James is somebody who we would all, there's no arguing that LeBron James has done this thing better than anybody else, like creating a good, healthy balance between being great and maintaining a happy home. Let's look at the difference between their kids and where they got.
Right. And Jordan was divorced.
And we're going to throw LeVar Ball into the mix, too. What you have is two guys who became great, one guy who didn't become great, but his kids became great. LeVar Ball sacrificed his own pursuit of greatness. Once he realized he got past that age of, we said 18 to 24, he said, it's not happening for me.
Right.
He started a family, and he put all his energy and effort into the family.
Right.
And they achieved greatness.
Absolutely.
But had he still been pursuing it for himself, we would not know Lonzo, LaMelo, And
The other boy.
but you feel me?
But since you're using that example, I gotta give a second because I always say this: the greatest father of all time, Joe Jackson.
Hey, and I would argue that if Joe Jackson had been out there trying to create his own career,
right,
there is no Jackson 5.
No,
there's no Jackson 5. And as Michael Jordan's kids were growing up, you know, their dad was out. He was in the playoffs, dropping 63.
Right. Do his kids even play basketball?
They played basketball, both of them.
Oh.
I know at least, you know, I don't know how many kids he has, but I know 2 of them played college basketball, but they're not where he was.
Absolutely not.
But he had a long career. LeBron James, on the other hand,
even longer.
He's still in the game, but his kids are achieving a little bit differently.
Right.
And I think it's, you know, when you look at his home, based on what we can see, his wife is happier. So he spent the time that he did have cultivating a happy home life, and he poured into his kids some. Outside of those 2 examples, like I said, look at LeVar Ball.
Right.
You know, if you want 3 kids to be successful, you can't be an absentee father out here chasing your own dreams.
Mm-hmm.
These are the sacrifices that have to be made for a family, for a successful family. Benzino had Coyle Ray when he was still out there doing his thing. They don't even get along. Master P had Romeo when he was doing his thing. They're at odds. Because he sacrificed a portion of his time during his career. He gave it to the craft rather than giving it to the fam. And it comes back on you.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Right. Busy. I'm busy. It's tough, you know?
Absolutely.
It's tough. So I would tell anybody coming in, if you're really serious and think you have that opportunity, drop everything else.
Oprah.
Go 100. Right. Oprah Winfrey is Oprah Winfrey.
No kids.
She's not. No kids, no husband.
Stedman don't count.
I mean, he's a dude that understands.
Right. She got a husband. And
every now and then, like, you know, people who are successful and have both of these things have spouses that understand the grind.
Right.
Or significant others who let you, like B-Dot, for example. In his interview, he talked about there was a point where he had to make a decision. 102 Jams was offering a morning show position. His wife, they were planning on moving to California. And this happened. He had a partner that understood. And when that happens, she made the sacrifice so he didn't have to.
She made it. Yep. Absolutely.
But somebody's going to sacrifice in the pursuit of greatness. If you want to be great in anything, there will be some sacrifices that have to be made. And you need to understand that coming in. There's no half-assing greatness. You cannot halfway be great. You have to be all in. You have to be ready to drop everything at the drop of a hat when the opportunity knocks. You have to spend countless hours getting better. Because what you think is good enough,
it
ain't that good.
It's always somebody better. Somebody working harder.
Yep. Yeah. And even after you get that first taste of success, there are more sacrifices to be made. You know, it's not over. It's not over just because you finally got a hit single. Nope, because there'll be plenty of other opportunities. You got the hit single, now you feel like it's time to chill. Nope.
Right.
Because relationships will still struggle. You're going to sacrifice those because how can you keep a woman happy when you got to go to the Grammys? Or maybe your record label wants you to sit with somebody and appear to be enjoying their company. For the sake of the advancement of your career. Suppose the woman you with ain't with that. Do you say no? If you don't, then you sacrifice that relationship in pursuit of your goals. Understand, it's like we talk about what? Relationship, money, family, friends.
Right.
What else is important to you? How about security? If you're headed anywhere in life, there will probably come a chance, an opportunity for you to have some security outside of your original goal.
Right. Right.
Hey, back to the B Dot episode. Wildin' Out or 102 Jams. 102 Jams is security. Wildin' Out is the dream.
Right. And he chose 102.
He chose 102 Jams. Mm-hmm. And ended up sacrificing that opportunity at that moment. Not saying he didn't get other opportunities, but that's because he kept going.
Right. And this is something he said.
This is something he said.
Yeah, like, wait till the episode drop. You know,
right?
Yeah, I shouldn't even say that because
it's already out.
Listen to the episode.
Listen to the episode.
Yeah,
but that's not. It's not just him. Like everybody, I've known a lot of people in this entertainment thing, and they all go up to a point. And as people get older,
right.
You know, even well established artists, after they've made all these sacrifices for so long,
mm-hmm.
eventually. They settle down.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's a bad investment.
Right.
Like, you know, we watch Mary J. and a whole lot of other different artists. You know, they go for a long time without being married or trying to start a family, you know, and then they get married and they kind of slow down on the career side a little bit.
Mary
J.
J.
Let's talk even Rihanna.
Right.
Rihanna had sacrificed a relationship. A real relationship for a long time to be Rihanna for us.
Right. And now?
And when she got tired of it, she got to where she wanted to get.
Right.
She said, I'm not sacrificing a family anymore.
And she just popping them out.
And she's like, I'm having babies because this is what I want to do this too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you want to be great at having a family,
right,
then you're going to sacrifice your career. But, you know, here goes another thing you sacrifice.
Yeah.
Privacy.
Yes.
You will sacrifice your privacy. It's gone. Nothing you do is yours anymore.
Right.
When you go out to eat, everybody knows where you ate.
Mm-hmm.
If you go shop, everybody knows what you bought.
Jay-Z talked about that in his music too.
Yep. You will sacrifice your
Kanye
privacy.
Complained about it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that go with the ride, and you have to be prepared for this. So if you're listening, you want to be great. And I'm not talking about good or a guy. I'm talking about the guy.
The guy.
If you want to be the guy,
right,
be prepared to sacrifice all these things in pursuit of your goals.
Right. Why you think, as big of an artist as J. Cole is, if J. Cole gave the people more of Jermaine Cole, he would be bigger than Drake right now. Like, seriously, the mystique part of J. Cole is what's hindering his, I guess.
Yeah, he keeps a portion of himself private.
Yes.
Right. Lauryn Hill got tired of sacrificing.
Got tired of it. Right.
He's like, I'm ready to be a mother. I want family. I want my family.
Well, the Marley Boys put on roots.
You know, and I want my privacy back.
Yeah, you know.
And right now, you don't know what Lauryn Hill ate for lunch today.
Right.
Has she kept going? No way.
Yeah.
So these are the sacrifices you have to make to be great.
The crack dealer in the 90s. You know how many people sacrificed to be a part of this person's life? If you weren't a part of the crack game, 9 times out of 10, he cut you off. But the people who still were in his circle or his loved ones who embrace him and stuff, they took a blind eye to the crack. So they sacrificed that part.
That's the next sacrifice. Your morals.
Yes.
Let's get there.
Right.
Sacrifice, the next sacrifice thing that you may have to sacrifice to be or reach your goals, and this is more so in entertainment, not athletics.
Kevin Hart.
Is your morals. We all come up with a core set of values. Your core values are the things that you were raised to believe to be right and wrong.
Now, do you think that's quote unquote selling your soul?
Yes. Because you know, there's no paper contract where you're truly selling your soul.
Right.
The selling out part or selling your soul part comes when you sacrifice your morals.
Right.
If you know that you came up in the church and you're not into showing your body or talking about certain things, when you decide you'll do it to advance your career, you have sacrificed your morals.
And the reason why I say Kevin Hart is because Kevin Hart he did some interview, and he talked about, I never wear a dress. I never do this. I never do that. 2 weeks later, he was on Saturday Night Live with the dress on. Yep. Well, I did it because I thought it was funny. Bro, you just said that goes against what you stand for.
Hey, you will be faced
right
with that moment where you have to sacrifice your morals.
Mm-hmm. And the devil is the industry.
Right.
You know?
So what are you willing to do for this craft to be great? I'm doing air quotes because, there are a lot of people who are great that haven't sacrificed any of these things that we talked about, but they haven't reached the levels of success that the people who did have reached.
Absolutely.
So, that's the next thing that's going to come is, are you willing to sacrifice your values, your core values? Are you willing to do something that your grandmother would be ashamed of?
Absolutely.
And that time will come. Plan on it. You can put it on your calendar.
Right.
If you plan on being great, there will come a time where you will be asked to sacrifice your core values and your morals.
What's your girl name? Lotto. Man, the stuff that Lotto was talking about, it put a strain on her and her dad's relationship because of the stuff that she's talking about. I ain't raised you like this.
Right. Talking about, let's take Katy Perry, for example. Start off singing gospel music.
Right.
And then, but to reach the next level, she felt like she needed to, include some satanic imagery in her videos and all of this stuff.
Right.
And later she said herself, like, I sold my soul,
Oh, God.
And, this is
right.
This is what it entails.
Terry Crews.
And the end result is you wonder how people who have become so successful feel so lost and depressed.
Right.
Well, let's talk about everything that we talked about so far. Well, anybody that you know who is at the top of the entertainment industry has sacrificed friends, family,
right,
their morals, their privacy, and an opportunity for stability in another arena.
Right. Right.
For this.
Right.
And when you get there, you're alone.
You take the clothes off my back.
Hey, it's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Take the food off my table and I watch you eat it.
And I'll be honest, like, coming up, one of the things that the toughest sacrifice for me is privacy.
Yes.
I value my privacy.
Right.
And being a public figure was difficult at the time when I was at my peak recognition, put it like that. I don't think I liked that very much.
Right.
And that was one of the things I was like, I don't know if I want much more than what I have, because I like being able to move in anonymity.
Well, you can say that you want to. Your wife just got you whipped.
But I didn't sacrifice the family. Now I
know you did,
but I tell you what, that's another sacrifice. I sacrifice a lot of that to be a great father.
Right.
Like, that's the thing that I'm striving for, greatness in the fatherhood arena.
Right.
So I sacrifice time in the club and, going to the studio and, just being out there doing the things you need to do to advance yourself in one area so that I could spend that time pouring into my kids.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just being straight up,
I be calling this dude trying to get on the pod. He like, man, I gotta go do this this with
I'm
my
going
kids.
to do this with
Absolutely.
my family.
And what can I say?
Hey, because
can't say nothing.
But hey, that's another area I want to be great in.
Absolutely.
I don't want to be halfway. I want, I want to be great at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to be great at anything requires sacrifices.
Right.
There are times when my friends might be doing something. I'm not doing that with them because my kids got a game. I'm
Right.
going to watch my kids play.
Absolutely.
They're not going to be doing this forever.
Right.
They won't be kids forever. These moments are not going to be here 5 years from now.
Right. Never get that time back.
You never get that time back.
Yeah.
So, when you decide you want to be great at something, you will sacrifice something else. But one
Right.
thing you don't have to sacrifice to have a family is your morals and your values, or your privacy, or your stability.
All those things.
You see what I'm saying?
For real. Yeah.
You can still have those things and have a family, but entertainment wants to take those things away.
Damn devil.
And it's the opposite. It's the opposite.
I don't care about none of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This what's going on right now. Either you here or you're not.
Right. These are the sacrifices. Another thing you have to sacrifice. At some point, you will sacrifice control.
Oh, yeah. That's why I can't swim.
What? Wait a minute.
I can't let the control go. I need to be in control.
Well, if you learn how to swim, you'll be in control.
Man, that's what they say. That water control you. You just learn how to float in it.
But look, you will sacrifice your control because at some point, all these people that you see who are at the top
Right.
have sacrificed the control that they once had and where they're headed, what their image is gonna be,
Right.
what their message is gonna be.
Right.
You will sacrifice that control over to somebody else.
Mm-hmm. And that's why they're buttholes when they do reach the point of being able to control stuff, because they didn't have it before.
Right. They finally got some control back. It's
Right.
like, I'm never gonna let anybody control anything ever again.
Absolutely.
But that's another sacrifice to be made.
Mm-hmm.
On your way up right now, you're in the studio recording a song that you like, that you wrote,
Right.
put your heart and soul into it over a beat that you picked
Some trash.
with the producer that you like to produce with.
Right. It's some.
And no, it could be good stuff,
Yeah.
but it may not be the thing that's gonna get you.
Right.
And so and I'm not saying that these people who have control always make the best decisions, but there's so much of a machine behind this game
Right.
that they can take trash and turn it into gold for you.
Absolutely.
It won't be what you want to do though,
And
and you will sacrifice your power and control
right.
to reach your goal.
And most artists hate their biggest tracks.
Right, because that's the one.
Yeah.
Like for example, Salt and Pepper, Push It. Hey, that was Herbie Lovebug said, "Hey, if you want to be over the top,
Right.
this is probably going to be a hit."
And
He
they
produced the record. I don't think they would have done that on their own.
They definitely
You know?
wouldn't.
Right. You think Run DMC walked in the studio and said, "You know what would be a good idea? I think we're going to do Walk This Way," and call Aerosmith. Sacrifice a little bit of power and control over what they usually do. And the payoff was massive.
Like, you think Nas wanted to do that remix with Lil Nas X?
Oh,
Or
man.
do you think Billy Ray Cyrus wanted to do that track with?
He probably did. He
was on his way out.
He had something to gain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But these are, there are a lot of sacrifices to be made, So
Right.
now there's your privacy's gone, your power and your control over your music and your career is gone.
Right.
That's why these artists are depressed. Because now their biggest record is a song that they wouldn't even listen to, and they're making videos they wouldn't show their kids, making songs they can't play for their grandmother,
Cardi
who
B.
can even be proud of them. Like, you're raising this family. Can you take this to you can't even play it at your family reunion? People that reach the top, there's a very small percentage of them that get to do this for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely.
So you sacrifice that long
Right.
security, the opportunities you had when you were young, chasing something,
Right.
and you may get your 1 or 2 hit singles or this or that. But when it's over, now, since you sacrifice your privacy, when you do need to go and get that job,
Right.
It's all on Instagram. Look at him working at Lowe's Foods.
Yeah, McDonald's drive-through with a tattoo on your
And
face.
even if it's not that, whatever it is not good enough. 'Cause you're always going to be held to some level of scrutiny over whatever you're doing now because it ain't making $1 million.
Like Entice talked about, she chose family.
She chose family.
Yeah.
But and she lasted longer than most, but that's because things went well for her early to keep her in the game.
Absolutely.
But she never sacrificed her values.
Right.
That's one of the things I give her an applause for. She didn't sacrifice her values. She didn't sell out and do some things that were against her core values.
Young Thug wearing dresses. Young Thug said it became apparent to him how detrimental that imagery was once his son almost put on a dress.
Oh, he cared now. I thought that was just him. Like, was he steered into that, or was that just his steez anyway? Well, when you're younger, you're willing to make those sacrifices.
Right.
But that's why they're sacrifices, because when you sacrifice something, you lose something. People who have gotten to the top of their fields have lost a lot. They've lost a lot. They gain material things, but they've lost a lot along the way. And this game is all about sacrifice. And like I said, it's not even about the type of sacrifices that you see on YouTube videos about Illuminati folks sacrificing their families for success. No, we're talking about real life sacrifices.
And the
greatness requires sacrifice.
Absolutely.
Across the board.
Spider-Man taught us.
Now, another sacrifice.
Yeah.
Your mental health. Right now, you're well adjusted because you got your friends, you got your family,
right?
You have your privacy. When those things go,
right,
mental health starts to take a hit. And to be a part in this game at the level it requires to achieve greatness, you have to be extremely strong mentally to make it through all of this.
Right.
It's like I said, it's tough to be the only one. Because those other people who are at the top with you, like, they're all busy too. You're busy. You're being pulled each and every direction. So who do you spend your time with that's on your level? Well, you have put yourself on an island.
Yeah, spend a lot of time talking to yourself.
Put yourself on an island. And everybody who is with you can only be with you if you foot the bill.
A millionaire told me it was harder to keep the $1 million than it was to make it.
Right. Because if you want counterparts, you have to pay for them. Like, you're off work on a Wednesday or Thursday and you want to go do something. Well, everybody else is at work. If you want them to not be at work and spend time with you, you have to finance this expedition. And if you don't, you'll be alone. And then you're always wondering if the person or people that are around you because of what you have or because they really, really care about you.
Right.
And with that type of fame and money comes a certain amount of power. And your challenge is, for your mental health, your challenge is keeping those people around you who will tell you no. That is a mental health struggle. When you have the money and the power to do what you want to do and keeping somebody around you that holds you accountable. And when you don't, and that person is gone, you're on a bad path. You're on a bad path.
The drugs and alcohol are not going to do it.
Oh, that's the next sacrifice. The next sacrifice is your physical health. Right. How many times have you heard about a famous person suffering from exhaustion? Now, I think a lot of times that's code for a drug overdose.
Yeah.
But when it's not, sometimes it's truly emotional and mental and physical exhaustion.
Right.
Your body, once people get their claws in you, they're not going to let you sleep. They're not going to let you rest. You're going to want or have to be at everything. That's another sacrifice.
Absolutely.
Because eventually that will take a toll Not just on your mental health, but on your physical health. Late nights, early mornings, training, trying to stay in shape. Like, as you get older, you see all these people on TV that 40 and 50 years old, and they have the body of a 20-year-old athlete.
Not hard. They got to work for that.
They work, but that's not even natural.
Right.
So you're going against nature, trying to maintain this look. Your body is struggling to keep up. That's physically exhausting. Can't eat what you want to eat or when you want to eat. Then when you get to these events, you know, you're the man. You're the man of the hour. All drinks coming your way. You know, even if you drink a portion of the ones that come your way, guess what? They're doing it again tomorrow night, and the night after that, and the night after that. And speaking of your physical health, you sacrifice the family life for this life.
Right.
So now the people you're dealing with are not family-minded people. Those women that you are now associated with, you got diseases. Like these dudes, a lot of these guys, they're not out here with a clean bill of health. Herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea, HIV, it's all out there. Now they keep that pretty private, but you know, all it takes for one of them to burn a groupie, and that piece of your privacy is gone too. But that's part of your physical health. Some more stuff that you sacrifice along the way.
Right.
You know, like this thing is tough. It's tough, and it's a hard life. All people show you nobody makes a video showing you how hard it is to wake up when you got in at 6 o'clock in the morning. You have to be on Good Morning America at 9.
Right.
And you're still drunk. You don't see that part. It's taking a toll. Like these people are, these people are struggling, man.
Rick Ross and Lil Wayne.
Yeah, both of them been hospitalized.
Seizures and all this other stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But
you see Khaled, DJ Khaled is living a very similar life to them. But he's so family oriented. That's why he can't lose no weight.
Hey. And how about this one? Another sacrifice. If you're in the hip hop game, safety. And that's gonna tie into your mental health and your physical health.
That paranoia too.
Because hey, you're coming from a place where people don't have what you're getting ready to achieve. And as you achieve it,
you food.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you just sacrifice your safety, your anonymity. I guess anonymity/safety, because as you're anonymous out here, if people don't see you as a threat or anything to eat, then your life, is not quite as dangerous. But you sacrifice your safety, wanting to be famous. Once you become famous, it's not as safe as it used to be for you out here.
Heck no.
There are a lot of sacrifices. So think twice before you decide that, if you decide that this is what you want and you want to be great at your craft and you want what Jay-Z and Beyonce and Eminem and all these people have, these are the things that you will sacrifice along the way. If you plan on getting there, there's no getting there without sacrificing a number of those things that we just talked about. There is no greatness without sacrifice.
Say it again.
There is no greatness without sacrifice. And if you're not willing to sacrifice one or all of those things that we just named, I'm sorry, but you will not reach
that level.
You won't reach that level. It's designed that you will not.
So the moral of the show is be selfish. Cut them all off. You came in this world alone. You're going to leave alone. So come on. Do you, shawty.
Hey, it's tough out here, man. I'm trying to tell you. So just understand that, this is real.
Yeah, man.
This is real talk. This is real talk. This is what's going to come if you trying to be great. So.
It's an hour.
Hey, there it is.
Yeah.
I'm ready to wrap it up. I think we covered all the bases.
Yeah, we did.
Hey, so go out there and be great, but understand what you're getting into. Capital City Podcast. I'm your host, Capital J, alongside my main man,
DL Glass.
We out of here.